Right, cool. So we're in. So obviously, yeah, this session is Facebook ads. So we're going to kind of look at Ads Manager. I don't think any of you guys have started with the ads stuff. Am I right in saying that, or has anybody?
Yeah, I use Facebook ads at the moment.
Yeah. What sort of stuff do you do in?
Different things, like if there's something specific we want to try and promote and pay out, depends on the type of target audience we're going for, and we'll specify. So for whole of Scotland, for example, we've done a big launch whenever we initially launched the company, and we paid for that. But then whenever it comes to sort of more localized things that we're going to be doing, then you can kind of restrict it down. But a whole host of different things. New advisor joins us, that goes on to a wider ad, and then we'll target it for the areas that the advisors are working in. So
yeah. What about you, Mark? What's your? Are you with us, Mark? I can't see you, but
yeah, I'm being bad. I got a pizza, so I just didn't want to eat it in front of you. So
you shouldn't do, because you'll make me hungry and you'll make me want to have a pizza, and I really can't have another pizza because I've had 2 this week already. So yeah, you do right, mate.
no, we got the school reports in today, and the kids did well. So because the kids did well, I got a pizza.
That's how it works, is it?
Yeah.
So,
but I've done some, but I haven't went through the full funnel strategy as yet. All right, I'm actually still developing different bits and pieces and trying things out on that side, but no, I haven't got fully into it yet.
Right. Okay. Johnny, you've done any? Have you done any?
I have. Yeah, yes and no. So I have, but I haven't. But I have started to create it all now, and I've got my company landing page all sorted. My director's done my own sort of landing page off the back of theirs, and I've done all the slides. So I just need to do the talky bit. So actually, this is great timing for me.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah. So you've done the through what I've given you, the template of the funnel.
Yeah, well, I hope I have. Whether it's worked or not, and I've done it right, is another matter. But yeah, I've had a go.
Yeah, well, it don't matter if you've had a go and you've got it started. That's the main thing. Obviously, yeah, it probably won't be perfect, but the point is that you've had a go and you've got it to a first point of where we need to get it. But
yeah.
Yeah, just send me it through when you can, and I'll have a look at it and see what.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Because, like I say, it will need some adjustment, I'm sure, but that's just part of the game. It's just part of the process. How about you, Liam? What's your experience with ads? Have you run any at all for your business or for the business?
No, I've not personally run any Facebook ads. I felt like my niche was more sort of a LinkedIn kind of vibe to it rather than Facebook, where I'd sort of get more international connections.
What is the niche?
So I do expats, foreign nationals, and foreign currency income.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, they'll be on Facebook as well. That's the thing. They might not be as active on Facebook, but the thing is, most people that are on LinkedIn are on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's over 3 billion now people that are on it, and it's just every demographic. If you're promoting something to anyone between the age of 18 and 80 now, they're on Facebook. It's a misconception, I think, that a lot of people have, that they need to focus on certain platforms because they won't be on Facebook. But yeah, generally speaking, obviously, yeah, there are certain niches that are better off on certain platforms, but generally speaking, that's why Facebook's so good. It's broad in the kind of people that are on there. But yeah, so that's basically just the intro, really. I was just gonna kind of take you through this intro. So, well, let me just cover what we're going to cover first. So yeah, the overview is, like I say, just a bit of an overview of Facebook ads. I'll just go into a bit more depth into to what I've just mentioned there. The strategy that we're going to follow then. So, like I say, obviously, if you've been through the training, you'll know roughly what it is. I know, Ian, you've just signed up today, so you're not going to have got to that point yet. But so I'm just going to give a bit of a reminder, really, a refresher, because obviously if you've been through the training, yeah, happy days. But sometimes when it gets explained to you in a different way, it kind of just makes it resonate a bit better, I think. And then I think what will be really beneficial for you as well is just to see how an actual case study of how somebody else is doing it. So we're going to show you how another student in the program is cracking on with the actual strategy that we teach, and she's seeing some success very early on. So yeah, we'll take a look at Ads Manager as well. Obviously, for the people that have not got a good understanding of Facebook Ads Manager is the software. Well, not really the software, but it's the system that it's like the back end of Facebook, where we set all the targeting, we set all the ads up, all the campaigns up. It's a bit different to, because a lot of people just kind of boost posts. So you can boost posts just from Facebook directly from the app or from the Facebook website. But with Ads Manager, there's a lot more to it. You can get a lot more detail. So stealing your competitors' followers, then this is a really good little tool that I've found recently. It's a website. You have to pay for this, but it's worth its weight in gold for me. This is separate because in the training, this, like I say, I've just discovered this quite recently because I've just signed up to a Facebook myself, a Facebook mentor. So he's introduced me to this. So this is since I built the program. So this is not in the program. So that's really useful. It's especially now as well, which, well, I'll explain later on anyway. So yeah, an overview then. Facebook ads, obviously, like I say, it's over 3 billion people, and it's obviously, as we know, because we've clicked on websites before and we've chased around by ads, and it just knows a lot about everybody, which is really kind of scary for a lot of people. But for us as marketers, it's a dream because we can really get specific as to who we're targeting, and we're just paying for the right people to see our content. So yeah, and it's like I say, there's a hell of a lot of people on there, over 3 billion. So like I said before, everybody's on it. If you want to promote something to anybody between the age of 18 and 80, Facebook is the place. Like my dad, he's 76, and my mum's always like round the dinner table, she's like swatting the phone away, say, get off Facebook. Like 10 years ago, that had never happened, and he's 76. So just go to show that older demographic is there as well, which is useful for a lot of financial services, because obviously those older generations, they are, and when they're on it, they're scrolling through it like that, slow. So they're reading everything, like the millennials, the younger people, they're like that. So they consume a lot more of it as well. But yeah, just to mention as well, while I'm going through this, if everyone's got any questions or anyone wants to interject with anything, just give me a shout. So the strategy then, so how we do this, again, I know I'm obviously always banging on about this side of it, but it is more, obviously what we do in the program is define exactly who your ideal client is and who your target audience is, and who your niche is. But more so with the Facebook ads, does this become valuable than probably any other part of it? Because like I say, when it's the targeting with Facebook ads, which really kind of makes it such a powerful platform. Because when you can really kind of drill down and just show your ads to the right people, and you're putting a message in front of those people that's specific to those people, it just resonates 10 times more powerfully than it would if you just put a blanket message out to just anyone and everyone saying, we do mortgages, give us a ring. So yeah, so it's all about, like I said on here on this slide, so don't take every client that comes to you. The top performers don't operate in that way. So instead, define who you serve and just focus on those people. Maybe not generally across the board with your business, because I know you've got other clients in other areas, but for this kind of stuff, the stuff that you're putting out, we want to just focus on this one specific customer profile and really like I say, get to know them and really get in their minds and put out stuff that's going to trigger them specifically. And when we put that in front of them, it just, like I say, resonates a lot more powerfully. So brain surgeons, for example, so most people don't need their services. However, they're never going to be short of clients, to be fair, are the brain surgeons. So we're kind of trying to get into that kind of mindset, really. So they're specialists then, and their knowledge and skills are so important to the clients that they serve that they can afford to charge top dollar, and they'll never run out of clients because they're specialists and they know that area better than anybody else. So it's all about, like I say, defining who you serve and becoming a master of serving those types of clients. So if your market is doctors, so it's all about understanding them to the point that you can write a page in the diary, just really getting into their mind. So your job then is, it's not to solve all problems for all sorts of people, because I think when you do that, it just becomes really a lot for your mind to compute, really. So the goal is to create efficiencies really in your client servicing by by solving and optimizing your servicing for the same type of client, and just putting that on a kind of rinse and repeat, really. So you're just kind of doing the same thing over and over, rather than being too scattered and you kind of spreading yourself too thinly. So this is, like I say, this is where Facebook ads comes in, because we can really get to know who it is that we're focusing on and just focus on those people. So this allows you to get better results for them as well, because you know exactly where you're going to get the results for these people. Like for me, this is how I've done my business. This is how my business has grown. It's just focusing on you guys. And I know exactly, well, I know pretty much when I speak to a new prospect, I know pretty much what the problems are of you guys, because that's the point of a niche. You all share the same kind of problems and the same desires and things. So it creates a position in the market that's completely different to other firms and advisors as well. So you just cancelling out your competition, well, most of it anyway. And like I say, it creates efficiencies by narrowing the scope of the problems that you're solving, so you know who to expect and you know what problems you're solving. So without a position in the market, then, so you're like a ship with no navigational system. So this takes us on. So what we need to do this is like the different stages of it, because there's no point running Facebook ads just without having that first part to it, that psychological side, and really getting to know who we're putting our message in front of, and knowing really what's going to trigger them and what's going to kind of resonate with them. Once we've got to that point, we need to have a predictable client attraction system. So I know, obviously, we spoke about it earlier, and there's a lot of people in financial services, and they're doing a lot of different things to generate business, really. So a lot of doing cold calling, networking, door drops, fancy websites where they're spending tens of thousands, even SEO. I know, Mark, you've tried the radio ads. So there's a lot of things that people are trying, but it's difficult to predict these kind of things, and it's difficult to really track them as well, because you don't know where it's coming from. If it is coming, you don't know if it's coming from one place or the next. So yeah, it's difficult to really build a business on that, because it's unpredictable. So it's like a spray and pray approach, and it doesn't really work. So rather, it can kind of dilute your message, because you're just spreading yourself too thinly on all these different methods, when really you just don't know what's working and what's not. So instead, it's all about obviously doing like what you've done, like what you've started, Jenny, which is the system that we give you in the training, in the program. So that is a system that is structured around your ideal client, and it'll convert your clients 24/7, 365, kind of on autopilot to a degree. Once you've got this stuff set up, you just let it run. it takes, obviously, it does take some work to kind of tweak it, but yeah, in comparing it to what you get out of it, it's very asymmetric in the way that it's very little that you spend on it in terms of time, compared to the upshot is that you're getting qualified hot leads on demand. So yeah, so obviously, yeah, like I said, if you can't pay money to acquire a new client, then you'll have difficulty growing predictably. So the funnel then, let me just get a drink of this. So the funnel then, so let's just explain the funnel, because obviously a lot of people will run Facebook ads and they'll put ads out saying, we're the best mortgage broker in the area, give us a ring for a free quote, for a free consultation. And yeah, most people won't convert from them. And a lot of people will say, they'll try running those kind of ads and they'll say, oh, Facebook ads are crap, they don't work. But really it is that people just don't trust those ads, because it's just, there's no reason why they would trust them, because it's just an ad from a random company that they've never heard of. So it's just about kind of putting something between the ads and us to kind of build that trust. So like I say, the truth is most prospects won't buy from your website or Facebook ad at first glance, especially if they're just becoming aware of you today. So it takes time. But the funnel is a multi-touch point system. So I know we've talked about touch points before. So this kind of builds a lot of these touch points in one short span of time. So yeah, it kind of builds it's a relationship building experience that it creates through these touch points. So statistically then, we're much more likely to make a sale from someone who we've built trust with, provided expertise, professionalism and authority, more so in financial services than any other niches. So yeah, obviously with financial services, it's a massive commitment, isn't it? It's like people's life savings. So they're not just going to trust just a random Facebook ad, somebody off a random Facebook ad with the life savings. It needs more than that, which is why we put them through this system, this funnel system. So done the traditional way, then, using existing sales and marketing processes for high ticket services, this process can take months or even years. These touch points I'm talking about. Like I say, you can obviously create these touch points through other means, but it's going to take a long time to create them. If you're posting organically, if you're posting every day, then yeah, you're going to get those touch points, but it's going to take a long time. This process just kind of expedites it, and it just puts it on steroids, really, and just puts some real kind of momentum behind it. So yeah, within that funnel, then it builds trust, authority, professionalism, and expertise. So because this training is, this funnel, the main point of it is a training. So you guys are teaching them something that you know about. So it builds authority and professionalism and expertise, because it shows people that you know your shit, basically, you know what you're talking about. So the different kind of points of it are, so Facebook ads, obviously that's how we get the message in front of people. So with the Facebook ads, we're not kind of selling your service, we're just selling this value video that's specific to your niche. So say, for example, if it's self-employed accountants, it could be and you're wanting mortgage leads, it could be a video like 5 top tips to avoid when applying for a first-time mortgage when you're a self-employed accountant. So they'd watch the video, and then we ask them at the end of the video to arrange a call if they want a tailored one-on-one strategy call to learn more about their specific goals and what they want. And then if they agree to that, they'd be hit with a calendar where they'd pick a time and a date as to when they'll arrange, when you'll contact them. And then they'll be hit with a survey form. So this is important. This is like pre-qualifies them. So you're asking them things on this form, like if they've got a deposit, maybe how much deposit they've got, if they're wanting to move in the next year or 3 months or 6 months, or if they're just gathering information, or if they're ready to move straight away. And then you get them on a call. So obviously you're kind of prioritizing these leads that are hot and that are ready to move forward. So you're not wasting your time ringing these shit leads, which I know a lot of people have had since the stamp duty holiday. They're just people just kind of just wanting free information, or they're not really ready. So this just eliminates all that time wasting out of the equation, because you're just ringing the hot leads that you know are kind of ready to move forward. So you get them on a call and then you close them. And the point is that when they've been through this process, you know that they're hot leads, and because they've spent kind of 15, 20 minutes going through this process, and if they weren't really in the market, they wouldn't have sat there for 20 minutes watching your video and filling in the survey. Because a lot of leads that people buy in, I think the average is about 10% closing rate, and the reason is because there's no real intent there. They've just typed in the phone number in their email, and it just takes them 2 seconds just to get a free PDF or whatever. So there's no real intent there. We've not really made them jump through any hoops. So this, like I say, they're not really qualified. So, but with this kind of stuff, they are. So you'd expect to close a lot more than 10%. So we're going to look at a case study then. So this is one of a student. She's just, like I say, she just started she started with us in February, I think it was. And then she started some ads in April, but the first full month was in May, where she spent 12. So she spent just over £1,000. But out of that, she got 4,800 in revenue, which was 3,488 profit, which for a first month is pretty good going. Like I say, she'd never touched a Facebook ad in her life. So it's just over 300 quid that she was paying to get a client, which, like I say, off her first month is pretty good, because obviously we're going to improve on that. That's just the start. So it's pretty good numbers for a first month. But so I'm just going to show you a bit about how she's set things up, because obviously I've talked with her and she's fine. She's happy to share the stuff. So so we're just going to look at her funnel now. Can you still see this page? Does it say hard? Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, right. See that, Elaine West? Yeah. Cool. So so this is a funnel then. So obviously you'd have your own specific domain here. So you have to buy that, obviously. A company's called Penguin Mortgages. So it's on the domain. So obviously all the ads are pointing to this domain. So they click the ad. I'll show you her ads in a minute, but on the ads it'll say free access this free training today. They'll click through, and then this is like the landing page. Sorry,
are you hosting this on ClickFunnels?
No, it's called Builderall. It's the same as ClickFunnels, but it's cheaper.
I was going to say ClickFunnels is. I'm trying to find I'm like sitting quietly making notes with yours. So it's cheaper than ClickFunnels. What's it called? Sorry.
Builderall. So
sorry, I just didn't mean to. I'm just because I'm on a. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, like you say, it's just like ClickFunnels is like the industry standard. If anyone's wondering what Ash is talking about, but yeah, it's something that you build funnels through. But yeah, ClickFunnels is very expensive and it's very clunky. For what it is.
It's Brunson, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's a good.
Starts at £100 a month.
Is that how much it is then?
Starts at £100. I'm not even.
Yes.
Like it's mad. Like it's very like because what you're talking here, this landing page stuff, is what I have to do for my business. So I'm like, wow, like this is insane.
Yeah, it's a lot for what it is, and
yeah,
I've not used it for when I first started. I think it was 2018, and I tried it, and I just got a lot of. It wasn't easy at all. It's meant to be very easy. That's the main selling point. But this is a lot easier, and it's cheaper. I've never had any problems with it whatsoever. So it's called Builderall, yeah. I
It's the
think
US one, yeah. It's the US dollars one. Is that right?
probably.
Do you
Yeah,
have
I
a
think they only do it. Yeah, they only do it in dollars. Yeah.
Do you have a affiliate code for it, by the way?
Yes.
Cool. Could you put that in the group at some point?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll send it
I'd
to you.
rather go say because I'll do it now, you see, but I'd rather do it for your affiliate. So
Yeah. Cool. Appreciate that. Yeah, but like I say, Builderall, actually you've got access to it as well, so I can give you the template. I've built this funnel. You've all got access to this funnel. Obviously, Elaine's edited this to make it her own. But the funnel pages are like I said, these are the funnel pages. Basically, there's the opt-in, the video, the scheduler, the survey. So they're the different pages. So it'll make more sense.
what? And they're pre-built. You've got them pre-built on there.
Yeah. I can give you a link, to the actual template. So you just edit it. Obviously, this is the same as mine. I'll show you mine.
This is interesting for me, and this is just shows you guys we're all learning. You know,
Yeah.
this is a massive weakness of mine is a funnel.
Yeah. Me
And I
too.
know this is what you do. I was talking on the phone, funny enough, to a big like mortgage business today, and I've got to go because we're learning all about this, and I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's so valuable because, like I say, Facebook ads without a funnel is just, well, it depends what you're selling. If you're selling phone cases where there's no need for any trust, then happy days, you'll get sales from a Facebook ad. But if you're selling high ticket services like financial services, you need to build that trust.
Not even just to add even more to that, it's not even just Facebook ads. Like everything that I teach, like with regards to content marketing, without a funnel would massively increase your return.
Yeah,
because it's a client journey. That's the thing.
Yeah, it just kind of, obviously, like we talked about touch points before. It just puts all that into one little like 20-minute, half an hour system, and it creates all those touch points, which without would take months or years even to generate those amount of touch points. But
this is all done on Builderall. You can just copy and paste this through from your one you've built.
Yes, yeah.
Sweet.
So
swear then, guys. Sorry. I'm like,
that's really good.
It's really, really good. Everyone should do this, by the way. Like, everyone in here.
Yeah, it's important. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, obviously this template it's the same template for what Elaine's used, but obviously it looks different because she's made it into her own, obviously. But the pages and everything it's the same template as mine, and it's the same as what you've got access to. So yeah, obviously, like I said, this is like the landing page. They'll land on that, and they'll. The point is to make the ad kind of congruent with the landing page, so it's the same information that they'll see on the ad to what they'll see here when they land on this page. So it's all congruent, and then they'll click watch the training now. This is where they'll type in their email address to get access to the training. So this shows we'll call like a micro commitment. So they're giving us something. It's not money, obviously, and it's not anything of any major significance, but it's still a little what we call micro commitment. They're still giving something of value, which is their email address. So that shows that they're kind of raising the hand and saying, yeah, this is me. I'm interested in this. This is something that I'm kind of somewhere at some point in the market for. They might not be where we want them exactly, as in converting straight away, but they're somewhere kind of in the scope of where we want them. So this form is integrated through ActiveCampaign, which is a CRM. So as soon as they put that in here, you will get an email, and we're building up a database in here of emails, people that have, like I say, opted in for the training. So I'll show you more of that in a minute, but just go back to that for the minute. So yeah, so they're opting in for that. So we've got their email address then. The next thing they'll see after that is the video. So let's move this. So they hit with this page where obviously it starts earlier on. Elaine's got a 27-minute long video. That's pretty much like the maximum that you want it to be. But obviously, again, when you know somebody sat there for like half an hour watching a training, so Elaine's just done it for first-time buyers. We need to really get her to specify and go a bit deeper with the niche, because it's a bit too broad. But she's even getting good results off that, just first-time buyers. So she's giving them some tips, basically. She's teaching them basic tips really on how to get approved for a mortgage as a first-time buyer. And then at the end of that, she's saying you can obviously go out into the market and look into this stuff yourself, or you can press this button below and arrange a strategy call with a first-time buyer specialist who will kind of dig into your specific desires and things and work with you to get you to where you need to be. Excuse me. So then they'll hit that button, and then they can book a call. So then they hit with a calendar page where this integrate. We use for this, obviously there's Calendly, which is a major one, but which I'm thinking of using actually, because at the minute we use one called Schedule Once. They're very similar in what they do, but I think there are a few more benefits to Calendly. Do you use Calendly, Ash?
Yeah, I use Calendly. It's amazing. I mean, I haven't used this one before, but Calendly, like, it's very cheap. So it's like $15 a month.
Yeah.
And like the interface for it, like I have like 7 different things. I've got like podcasts. I've got, and I can do like automation so they get reminders, and
yeah,
you can also, it's integrated to Stripe. So for you guys with mortgages and stuff, if you ever decided you wanted to do like so I've got a client I work with that was done this, where as a mortgage advisor, where he takes a part of his fee on the appointment. So like the first half of it, first quarter, I think it is. I think it's 150 quid and he's £500. So whatever that is. And he takes, they pay through Calendly.
really?
Yeah. So when they book it, they can't book until they pay. So it's so good. It's very, very good.
Yeah, because you can integrate different things into it as well, can't you?
Integrate loads. MailChimp. I'm sure you'll be able to integrate ActiveCampaign.
Yeah.
It's the marketing. It's a bit like it's the ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
Of calendar stuff, really. Like it is. I mean, I think it'll go up in price over time because it's now becoming integrated into everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking, like I say, I've always used use Schedule Once, which is what this is. They're very similar, but I think Calendar is edging it now. There's a few more benefits to it. So
there's a lot more, like there's images. Effectively, there's like a website of its own and stuff. You can do loads of weird stuff. I mean, I don't use it anywhere near to the level it should be, really.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Cool. But yeah, obviously the point of this page is that the scheduling an actual time and a date as to when they're going to get contacted. So it's not just a random call out of the blue. They know exactly when they're going to get contacted. They're expecting your call, and they're going to get emails to remind them that the call is booked. So we'd book that, and then the next page is scheduling page. The survey page. So with this one, I think with Elaine, we need to go into a bit more, ask a few more questions, because the more hoops we're making them jump through, the more qualified they're going to be. So we're asking them things, obviously the contact details, but we're also asking them things like when they're looking to move.
I'd ask their income, honestly, on this.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. I've got a client we've done at the moment with I think you're right with that. Like, I'd ask like their income and like, as in a range. He had like a range, so it was like, you click, do you earn between this much and this much, this much and this much? Because otherwise, as you say, it's time wasters.
Yeah. Anything else that you?
Because we were going through. We did like 10 questions. 10, so effectively, we did like a small fact find.
Yeah.
We did like your address history, so your address, your income, your deposit, self-employed or employed, what we tried to do, and you guys as advisors would be so much, I mean, I used to be an advisor, so that's why we did it, but like you are so much better than this, is make your life, I would say this is different to this, but what similar, make your life as easy as possible. Is we were getting to the point where we can look at that lead and go, nah, or go, absolutely, he's worth a call. And then he has an assistant. This is a guy called Anish. He's on my client. He has an assistant who then, if someone comes in, it's like, you know, I want to borrow. So it's like, how much do you want to borrow? That's another one. How much do you want to borrow? What is your deposit? How much do you earn? Do you have any debt? And those 3 questions. And he was like, you know, because people will come and they want to get 7, 8, 9 times income multiple.
Yeah.
Like
find the looks in what they can get. Just
most of the time they don't even know. You
Yeah.
know? So like, and so he gets his assistant to, if they don't work, then he gets his assistant to call them and just say, from the information you input, it doesn't actually work. So we don't want to waste your time and our time.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, but
Computer says no.
computer says no. So I would say, but he was really reluctant. I had to drag him kicking and screaming to do that. Because he was like, and then you guys as advisors, I'm sorry if I've hijacked this a little bit, but just on that is like you guys as advisors will know this. He was like, I want to get him on the call so I can convert them. And I was like, no. And you know, kick him and scream, and he did it. He didn't do it. And then he did TikTok, his videos went viral. And then he was like, Ash, I'm booked out with crap. I was like, yeah, because you're not doing this. And so now, like, if they don't fill out that form, he won't speak to them.
Yeah.
It goes back nicely to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago about where's the value of your time, you know, £500 an hour jobs versus the £10 an hour jobs. And this just pre-qualifies it massively before you even get to the conversation.
I mean, you can literally set your fact find. Like I literally would think about yourself, 10 questions about the right thing. But like, as you say, like realistically, like, what do you need? I said to him, what do you need to run a dip? I was like, literally, apart from actually having the pay slips, obviously, but like, what do you need to be able to go, raw ballpark figure, you can get this much? Because the reality is you can then, if they book a call with you, which is what you're doing, I mean, this is even better. This is like, my brain's bouncing off the walls with this. It's like, wow, you can do so much stuff with this. Is like, you can have a figure for them on the call. You can be like, from the information you've submitted, it's this.
Yeah.
I want to check though, how much do you actually earn? From the, you know, like, so, or even if it is a call, you can just drop them in the bin of like, you know, I remember when I was a performing arts guy, there was a pile of letters. There was 150 of us. We all qualified for a college. There was 6 people got called out to continue on, and the pile of 120 odd letters, just pick one up on the way out and means, no, sorry, you're unsuccessful. You know, it's that, like, that type of thing yourself.
Yeah, I think it's all about kind of flipping the script on them, really, and making them work with you rather than you going kind of like a lot of people I get, well, a few just within the past week for some reason, they've filled out the calendar form, filled out a Calendly, but they've not filled out my application form on this page. And I'll not ring them because they've not done what I've asked them to do, and I need that information from them. And if they've not shown that commitment in doing what I'm asking, then they're not.
How come you haven't set them all to? I'm just curious. How come you haven't set them all to compulsory?
On this form.
Yeah. Oh, it's hers, isn't it? It's not yours.
Yeah, this is hers, but yeah, these are compulsory.
Yeah, because I would say everything needs to be compulsory, apart from a little box at the end that says, "Is there anything else you'd like me to know?"
Yeah. Well, that's it. Well, to start with, we didn't have the phone as compulsory, and so we lost about. She got 12 leads in her first full month, but a few of them, or I think about 6 of them, actually, didn't leave the number because we didn't have that as compulsory. So we missed out on a good chunk of those. But yeah,
make it all compulsory. I think, I really do.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. This is really great.
Yeah, but yeah, that's like I say, it's all just part of the process. Is just learning from my mistakes, really. Because even with what she's done here, I'm going to show you some of her. Because after she's filled that in, after the leads filled that in, it just hits them with a thank you page, basically just saying thank you for applying. We'll be in touch. yeah, that, like I say, these forms, like this one, you can see there it says marketed by active campaign. So all this information is going into our CRM. So as soon as the lead's filled in this information, we're getting an email saying straight away, giving this data, this information. So we can instantly kind of determine whether we're going to bother investing the time, like Ash says, to contact them or not. Because if not, it's just going to be a waste of your time and the person you're ringing's time. So you can just prioritize in the top leads that are kind of the hottest. But yeah, so they all go in. And the other thing is with this, because we've got their email in that first instance, because they've opted in, as soon as they've done that, we've got them in a way. So we can send them emails if they don't, because a lot of people won't go through that funnel the way that we want them to. Obviously, we want them to complete this form. That's the whole end game of it. But probably 85% of people won't go through it the way that we want them to. So if they don't, we've got contingencies. One is obviously the email. We can send them emails, which I'll show you. You've all got access to these sequences that are built as well, where they'll get kind of reminders. Well, I'll show you that now. So as soon as they've put that email address in that first page, they'll get an email instantly saying, well, I'll show you. Because a lot of people as well, they'll kind of see it on the phone and they'll think, I'll kind of leave it till later. They'll realize it's a video and they'll think I'll watch it on my laptop later. And then they'll forget. But so as soon as they opt in, they get an email here, which I don't know if you can see that. Basically, it just says, and it just links them back to the email and where they can apply for a call. So that'll take them to that form that we've just shown you there, where they can apply for a call. And then again, it links them to it again at the bottom, just to kind of reiterate that form, because that's obviously the ultimate goal, to get them to fill out that form. So they get that straight away. And then the good thing about this active campaign, it's amazing the way that it works, because it does what previously, like 10 years ago, and I said to you earlier, 10 years ago, this stuff that this does, you'd have needed a full kind of team of full-time people to keep track on what's happening with these leads and things, and to follow up with them. But this just does it all for you, so it knows exactly where people are at and what people have done. So so it'll wait half an hour and then it'll check to see if they've filled out an application form, and if they haven't, it'll send them a reminder saying you didn't finish your application. Then it'll wait another 24 hours and then it'll check again if they've filled out a form, and if they have, then it'll stop. Obviously, they won't get any more emails because we've got them to the point of where we want them. But if they haven't, it'll send another email saying you still haven't completed your application. Then it'll wait another 24 hours, and then again, if they have, happy days. If not, it'll send them another saying this is your last chance for a strategy session. And then it'll wait another 24 hours, and then obviously we've done as much as we can, as far as we can take it. Really, we can't. Obviously, at that point, if they're not sending an application through, we know that they're not interested. But we've done our best to get them, and you'd be amazed at the amount of people who do actually convert or fill out a form on this last email. So it really does work. I think probably the majority of the leads that I get are from these emails. So normally without this stuff, we'd just lose those people, and which is, like I say, the bulk. But because we've got this contingency, it's worth its weight in gold. This active campaign's amazing for what it does. But we've also got, with Facebook ads, I don't know if you guys, if you're not massively ran Facebook ads, you might not have done it, but there's warm campaigns as well. So we've got a pixel on the funnel, which is something that tracks. So as soon as somebody lands, like I said before, yeah, you'll have seen it before when you've been on a website and you see ads for that website for days and days after. That's because they've had a pixel on there, so they can kind of track you, which is what we do. So kind of chase them around with ads to remind them that we're here. So we've got those two contingencies that are built into that funnel. So this is Ads Manager. I think it was Debbie. I know she's not on the call, but she asked a couple of sessions back about the different angles, because in the training we mentioned about using different angles. Basically, what that means is it's just different positioning it in different ways. So one of Elaine's angles here that's working well is, I'll just show you a preview. So this is 10 of the most common mistakes made by first-time buyers when applying for a mortgage. As we've said before, the negative is often more kind of appealable to people. So she could have gone with top 10 tips when applying for a mortgage, but we've gone with mistakes because, like was mentioned before, the negative is often more kind of appealable. So yeah, the different angles are just different ways of going at it. So that's one angle that she's done. So just check another. And these are different audiences as well. So she's showing the same ads to different audiences of people. So Zoopla is one, like interest, because you can target interests within Facebook. So you can target people who have liked Zoopla, for example, or liked IKEA, because obviously they're often homeowners. Rightmove, obviously that's a big one. So yeah, that's one angle, 10 of the most common mistakes. Another is, what's this one? Just preview this. Oh. So this is first-time buyers is still looking on comparison sites for the cheapest deals. So that's the first thing they're going to see. First-time buyers. So she's calling them out, and most first-time buyers, that's what they're doing. So they're going to see that and think, oh, yeah, I'm looking at comparison sites for the cheapest deals. What's this all about? So a lot of these as well. These are kind of templates that I've written before that you've got access to. That have proven to work, but yeah, these are different. The angles are just different ways of going in at it. Really, just different kind of different angles. There's no better way to describe it than that. But yeah, as I say, she's doing really well with it, and it's literally her first month last month, and she'd never touched a Facebook ad. So she's kind of doing really, really well with it. I know we're cracking with time, so I'm just going to quickly show you this leading force. This is a thing I mentioned about stealing your competitors' followers, really. So up to recently, the way that I was doing it was through targeting with Facebook ads. You have to choose an interest. So say, for example, Rightmove, like we've just seen what Elaine's been doing. Rightmove is an interest, so it'll show your ad to people that have liked Rightmove. But with this, you can kind of, so if you've got a competitor, so say for example, if you're life insurance and you want to target like Aviva, for example, you can just go to Aviva's Facebook page, copy and paste their URL, put this into lead force, and it'll target just those people that are on Aviva's page. So you can do this for any business page on Facebook, which is really good, and any groups as well, but they've got to be open groups. So a lot of these niches as well that we're obviously targeting, a lot of your ideal clients within these niches are going to be in groups. So this is where it becomes really beneficial, because you can build up audiences. They're called custom audiences. So you can build up custom audiences of your ideal profile, your ideal clients, by going and finding where they are in these groups and targeting these groups, which, yeah, up to now, like I say, I was battling through trying testing different audiences and things to where there's a lot of my ideal clients, but now I can target groups and things where it's literally chock-a-block full of my ideal clients. So it just makes things a hell of a lot easier. But it's not just Facebook groups. So you can target LinkedIn stuff as well through here. Where is it?
How much does that cost, Dan, for that? So that's amazing.
It is. I think it's about 90 quid a month or something. But it's worth it. You can do a free trial.
So if I do a post, for example, and highlight the URLs of the different companies, like larger firms and so on,
Yeah.
are into that, that'll just target everyone that likes sold their content.
Yeah. So you can build it. You can build. So if you've got like 10 of your competitors, you can put all 10 URLs in there, and it'll build up one audience of all 10 pages.
Right.
So yeah, it's really good. But you can do it on LinkedIn, because obviously LinkedIn, the beauty of LinkedIn, even without the paid version, obviously with the paid version even more so, you can really get narrow on who you're searching for and who you're building up these lists of. So you can do that and then target those people that you've built the lists for, because you can, like I say, the search filters in LinkedIn are really specific. So you can really kind of drill into like job titles, obviously the location area. If they've kind of recently been posting on LinkedIn, there's all sorts you can kind of drill down on, especially like I say with the paid version. So you can do all that and then just target those people on Facebook, because like I say, 90% of people on LinkedIn have got Facebook as well. So yeah, it's really good that. So you can really, it just cuts that learning curve down, because like I said before, I was doing a lot of just kind of testing different audiences on Facebook, the preset audiences that they give you, and it's very time consuming. But with this, it kind of takes that out of the equation. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. I know I've kind of rushed through that last bit again, but I don't want to miss this game, and I don't think most of you want to either. But yeah, I'll stop sharing the screen now.
No, that leading force looks really good.
Yeah, it is, mate.
I didn't even know there was a game, sadly.
Really?
Hey,
You English?
I live in a shed doing nothing else but this. I don't know what was going on.
So do I. I live in Ireland. I knew there was been a match on, Ash. Come on.
I don't like football. I'm not interested. I didn't know. When Dan said, I was like, come on.
What about you, Ross? Are you watching the game?
Yeah, the Scotland game.
Sure.
What do you mean? I was in my kilt at the weekend when we drew in you guys. Yes!
Why are you Scottish?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, Ian's buzzing in the corner, isn't he? He's like,
well, I'm technically Northern Irish, but I live in Scotland. So, see, because
it's not England, so it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone but England, as the saying goes.
So, I thought it was anybody
Come on,
but
Wales.
United.
Yeah. Yeah, come on.
Sorry, Mark, you were saying about Lead Force. Sorry, mate. I proper took your thunder then, I think.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, one of you said about what is Lead Force or something, and I just jumped in and just said.
No, I just said leading force. It looks very good. I've got the page open, so I'll have a look at that as well.
Yeah, we'll look at it. Like I say, you can do a free trial, but yeah, the problem with the free trial is you end up building audiences. Well, this is what happened to me, and then I had to pay for the paid version, and then it kind of restarted my thing, so I lost the audiences that I created. But yeah, it's worth just having a play around with it on the free version and just kind of getting used to it, really.
I think it trains you into it. Are you Matthew again? It just trains you onto having it, I suppose, more than anything else. It gives you an idea of what you're doing before you actually start it full time. Yeah,
it's worth doing that just to get, because it's not, to be honest, it's not the simplest kind of, it's not the most user friendly of sites that I've used. it takes a bit of getting used to, but obviously that's why you're in this program, because I've done it. So you can just give me a shout if you get stuck with it, and I can help you through it if you do get stuck with it. Because I think you probably will, because like I say, it's not the easiest, but it's worth muddling through it, because like I say, it does save you a hell of a lot of time and effort.
I just like the idea of targeting my local competitors.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just,
I've been around for several years that people are looking to go straight to, and you can just hijack them.
Yeah, exactly. Because it takes a lot of time and effort to build these audiences, which somebody else has done, and you can just go in there and and take it. But it's obviously it's not taking it because they've still got it. It's just that you're just, like I say,
you're just trying to nick a few from them at the same time, build your own.
Yeah. Exactly.
So are they just building lookalike campaigns from those people? Then is that what's happening? So they're looking at what your competitors, Facebook, whatever their followers are, they're just building lookalike campaigns.
No, it's actually, you can build an audience of them. They go to the actual URL of the Facebook page, and they've got some kind of software of going through their page likes and extracting their data. But yeah, the beauty of it is obviously once you've done that, that's when you do build a lookalike audience of that audience that you've extracted from their page, and that's where you can scale it up into, because obviously a lot of these pages are not massive. You've got like 1,000, maybe a couple of thousand, but when you build a lookalike audience, that builds them up into the 500,000s and up to 1 million, and they look alike. If people don't understand what we're talking about when we say lookalike audiences, Facebook goes out, obviously we've taken an audience from their Facebook page of people who've actually liked their page, and then it'll go out and find people that are built up very similar to those people that have liked their page. So they might be in the same area or the same demographics, they're into the same things, and it's very accurate because Facebook know everything about everybody. So they'll build another audience of people that look like and built up the same way as that initial audience of their Facebook likes. So it just kind of just swells that initial audience. So you're just showing your ad to more of the same people, which are your ideal client.
It's mad. It's really, really good.
Yeah, like, I'm sat here just thinking like of some of the stuff we've gone through. Like this is like monumental for some of the stuff for the guys who are on the course. Like I know I'm going to go away and look at this stuff. Like I think for the people who are listening back and watching on now, it's like set some time aside to like get into this. Go back for the video, like make time to check this stuff out, because that sounds like massive game changer for the guys who are on the call now. Like really, really good stuff.
Yeah, this will automate you. Like me and Ross have been private messaging going, wow, great, brilliant, in a good way, because like truth is like as someone who, like we're one of the coaches, and as a digital marketing like expert, this isn't marketing, see, this is advertising. It's a very different thing. This is what Dan is good at. This is Dan's thing. Like this is like crazy. This is working smart.
Yeah,
like smart, not hard. Like, and it is everything. Like I've literally been messaging Ross saying it's everything. I already know all this stuff, but how it fits together is the hardest bit. Like you'll hear people all the time use click funnels, or there's this, but fitting these things together in a sequence is a skill that honestly, that's why I'm like super like, oh my God, you've got the template. Yeah. Because to pay someone to do that alone would cost you thousands to build a template. ClickFunnels, the guy says to build his, what did he say? He's got £1 million down payment to write someone's ClickFunnel before, and then a percentage of their company is what he takes to do what I mean, it was a massive scale. No, but like, so that's what I'm saying. Like if you've got this software and you've got that like for me, because this is something that I don't, like I'm like, oh bloody hell, I'm going to implement this to my coaching business, and I think Ross is probably thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, you can use it for any high ticket business, really.
Well, even low ticket though, mate. If you've got like online courses, like the thing that's going for mine is online courses, like online, not like this, like zero contact.
Yeah,
because that means you've got an evergreen funnel that's going to make you money without you doing anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's just sat there putting yourself in front of thousands of your ideal client day in, day out systematically.
And if your course is £200, say you've got a course, sorry, £300, you've got a course, say £300, that would cover. You don't have to get one sale. It cover all your costs for running the software on it.
Yeah.
But then anything else would be profit, which if you hit this properly and it's a cheap enough, like a low ticket thing, you could easily sell, like make a lot of money doing not really much.
Yeah. So it takes very little maintenance. As I say, once you've got it set up and it's rolling, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes every couple of days, just to kind of tweak the ads, just to make sure everything's rolling and make adjustments. Other than that, and it's just producing your red hot leads, like you say, just on autopilot. So yeah,
this is like probably my favorite session so far. No offense, Ross.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Or no offense, me as well. This is brilliant. This is great.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to be saving this recording.
Yeah, well, it's recorded and I'll get it posted in the group. But anybody, anything, any questions or anything?
No, all good.
All right, Johnny.
No, I'm just gonna play about with it.
Yeah. Everyone okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll just time that right then. All right, thanks for your time, everyone, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you
Scotland.
very much.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
All the best.
All the best.
See you later.
Right.